Hey guys, Dozy here bringing you a new video to talk about the spoilers for day 3 of Everfest. Let's get right into it and do some analysis. So right off the bat we've got Amulet of Assertiveness. It is a yellow go again attack reaction based item that lets you banish the top card of your deck, and if it's an attack action you get to play it this turn. But you have to use this as an attack reaction to buff an attack that you've already made, and you have to have 4 cards or more in your hand. This card is going to be really good in decks that have big hands and big turns, like Prism, Viserai, and Ranger with their 3 of a kind turns. I would definitely keep that in mind. Although I guess Ranger can't really use this for arrows, but it's still a pretty interesting card in decks that like to draw a lot, so might see play for sure. We've got Braketie. It is a very good ninja card that allows you to, as a 0 cost, 2 pitch, 2 attack, 3 attack card with combo, if you follow it after playing Rushing River or playing Flood of Force, you get +3 dominate, and if it hits, you banish the top card of your deck, and you can play it until the end of your next turn. Basically, this card is an instant draw 1 slash +1 intellect card that lets you play a card for the next turn and the current turn. So even if this doesn't have go again, you still get the value off of it. You can play defense reactions that you've banished with this, and you can play attack actions as well, and even attack reactions. So this card's really good. Definitely is going to be a good payoff for the Rushing River combo line, for sure. Beyond that, we've got dreadboard. Dreadboard is the new ranger weapon. It's a bow that says as a once per turn action, you may put an arrow card from your hand face up into an empty arsenal zone you control, and if you do, it gains +1 until the end of the turn, go again. And it says arrows that you control have defense reactions cannot be played from hand to this chain link. Dreadboard is really good. It has great synergy with the new card Battering Bolt, which lets you pressure the defense reactions in their hand, and when you hit with the 7 attack card, they will not be able to hold on to those D-reacts. They'll lose some extra health and lose some cards. Very strong combo, but even beyond that, the key thing that you want to take from this is that Azalea can now use New Horizon, because this lets you put arrow cards into any empty arsenal zone that you control, whereas before, Azalea kind of struggled to use it because she had to use Death Dealer or Redliner, and neither of those let you put arrows into your arsenal unless there's nothing in there. So this kind of opens up the door for Azalea there, but even so, Lexi's still probably going to be the only one that can really use New Horizon well with this card, but it's definitely going to be a really cool card for Azalea to use, especially in conjunction with Remorseless, because now you just can't play defense reactions at all. So Dreadboard is really good, and definitely doesn't fix all the problems that Ranger has, but it'll definitely be a nice tool for them to have, and is a big upgrade over some of the other options that they've been having to use. So we've got Earthlore Bounty. Earthlore Bounty is a Guardian chess piece that has Temper, which means it can block 2 and then 1, and then once you block twice, it'll break itself. But in the meantime, whenever you draw a card from the effect of an action card, you get to create Seismic Surge tokens for each card drawn this way. That works on things like Tome of Harvest, Tome of Fyendal, Blessing of Deliverance, Showtime, and a whole bunch of other cards. So Earthlore Bounty is pretty good. It'll definitely find its way into Earth Guardian lists because of Tome of Harvests, being able to effectively cycle your hand and create 3 Seismic Surge for your trouble. Otherwise, some of the other Guardian cards that let you draw, again, such as Blessing, will help you generate value over time at the expense of being able to pay 1 off of Tectonic to get 1 Seismic. Now you can make multiple Seismics if your deck has more of that cycling to it. So that's a very, very good card. Healing Potion, on the other hand, is going to be a harder sell because it is a 0 cost 3 pitch action card. That's an item. So it sticks around, and it's effectively a Time Snap Potion, but instead of 2 action points, you get 2 health. The problem with this is that you can't heal on your opponent's turn, and you have to spend your action point to play this. It doesn't have go again when you play it at first. So you'd normally be better off running Yellow Sigil of Solace if you really care about the healing, especially because this card doesn't block. You don't really want to pitch this card to late game, because what are you going to do with it late game, right? You're going to spend your action point to heal 2 on your next turn. You'd normally be better off playing Sigil of Solace. So there is that. Mask of the Pouncing Lynx is a cool new ninja headpiece that has Blade Break 2, so you can block it for 2 damage once, or you can, if you have an attack action card that hits, you can destroy it in the mask, and if you do, you can search your deck for an attack action card with 2 attack or less, banish it, and then shuffle. You can play this you may play that card this turn. So this is an interesting card. Mask of Momentum, for instance, pressures your opponent because if they Kodachi attack, they get to draw a card, right? But Mask of the Pouncing Lynx basically says, hey, I'm attacking with an attack action card. Like, let's say it's a combo card. Maybe it's that new 100 Winds card. Well, maybe I attack you with 100 Winds and I banish the combo card, the Eternal Winds, or the one that, you know, recycles everything. Well, if you attack with all of your 100 Winds, you can finish with the finisher card, which you searched off this card, and then get all your cards back, besides the one that you finished with. So it's pretty interesting. Tutors are always very cool to build around, so it'll be interesting to see kind of where this card goes over time, and maybe it'll be giving us a preview as to what here's on the pipeline. Who knows? We've got Potion of Seeing here. Potion of Seeing is an item card that's a blue. A lot of these are that way, otherwise it'd be really, really terrible. As an instant, you can destroy this and look at your opponent's hand. That's something, I guess. I can't think of a single character that would ever want to do this and seriously run this card. Again, you have to use your action point to play it. If this had Go Again, maybe it'd be worth playing. But as it is, it's just, you know, why would you play this card? You get some information, sure, but you would rather just have a card that does something, I think, in most games, especially because it doesn't block or anything. So definitely not a fan of that. Microprocessor is the Data Doll specialization. It's a 2-cost, 3-pitch item that says once per turn action, you can pay 0 to opt. Once per turn action, you can, for free, draw a card, then put a card from your hand on top of your deck, or you can banish the top card of your deck. And the first time you activate this each turn, you gain an action point. So effectively, this card's pretty interesting for Data Doll. I mean, you get to have a permanent card on the board that allows you to generate extra action points, and it allows you to opt, fix your hand a little bit, and then basically get an item into play. So definitely a good card in Data Doll, but Data Doll's a young hero, so, you know, not necessarily going to be playing that in CC anytime soon, and I mainly talk about CC, so. But, hey, it's a pretty cool card, and I like that it's permanent, and that's just a strict, like, you draw this card and you upgrade your character. That's a pretty cool card. Beyond that, we've got Talisman of Recompense. It's a 0-cost, 2-pitch, Go Again item that says whenever you pitch a card, if you would gain exactly 1 resource, instead you can destroy this and gain 3. So Talisman of Recompense is kind of playable, actually, because it's a yellow that you effectively get to bank on a turn where you're pitching a red. It's kind of like Deep Blue, but the thing is that do you really want to be running this card in a deck compared to just having a better cost curve and a better, or like a, you know, mix of cards? I think of all the talismans, this one's the most playable because, like, let's say you're playing Ranger and you have a dead hand. We've got a lot of reds. You can, you know, pitch them for extra resources and get to attack a bunch of times. But even so, like, let's say you had this on a normal turn, you didn't want to play talisman, you could pitch it for yellow and still attack with an arrow, right? You could load an arrow and attack with it. It's fine. I think this card's actually kind of playable. Revel and Runeblood. Now, this card is actually kind of insane. So, Runeblade action, Majestic, red pitch, 0-cost, 2 block, Go Again. Right off the bat, it starts at, you know, kind of low value, but let's see what it does, right? It says if you've played an attack and a non-attack this turn, create 4 rune chants, but at the end of your turn, destroy all your rune chants. So effectively, you're trying to use this as a way to push extra damage on a turn at the cost of getting rid of all your rune chants and all your setup. The thing is, if you've met its requirement, Viserai makes an extra rune chant off of this. So this is a minimum in Viserai, 5 damage for 0 card. Most 0-cost cards do 3 damage, and that's physical damage. This can do 5 arcane for 0. You have to have the ability to attack after, but you will be able to do that, especially because you're reducing the cost of your attack actions with these, you know, rune chants. So, yeah, Revel and Runeblood's very, 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 very strong. So be on the lookout for that for Viserai. I don't think it'll find its way into, like, the other Runeblade lists, for instance, but Viserai will definitely love this card and will definitely be a big power boost for him. Going forward, we have the final card here for the day, Aether Wildfire. This card is a very interesting card for Kano and is a big buff to him to give him a lot more play lines. So Aether Wildfire is a red pitch, 2-cost majestic, so there's no other colors of this, and it has 3 block, and it says deal 4 arcane to a opposing hero, and if this is played during an opponent's turn, until the end of that turn, an action card effects that deal arcane damage instead deal that much arcane plus X, where X is the damage dealt. Effectively, this card, if you play it on your opponent's turn, buffs everything that you play for the rest of the turn, and it's arcane. Aether Wildfire is definitely a great card for Kano, and I would put a link in the description to the guy who revealed this card because he had a great video that was detailing how the combo line can go to be able to burst your opponent down from kind of nothing, even through Arcane Barrier. So be sure to check that guy's channel out and give him some support. He's a very good Kano player, I believe from Italy, so he's a cool guy, so go check him out. But yeah, guys, that'll do it for today. Thanks for taking a watch here. Gonna be looking forward to more spoilers going forward and can't wait for the new Illusionist cards. So stay cool and have a good one. Peace. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and consider subscribing for more Flesh and Blood content. I'd like to take a moment to thank all of the patrons for making this content possible by supporting the channel over on Patreon. So, first we have the Dreamweaver tier patrons. Thank you to Terrablitz, you rock, longtime supporter. Glad to have you on board. Then for the Sentinel tier patrons, we've got David Romish, Joe Gianoli, Michael Lynch, P13TR2U, Scott Koo, and Tim J. Then for the Herald tier patrons, big shout out to Ike Vickhagen, Francesco Lorenzi, Henrik, Jacob Wilson, and Moonshaker for their continued support. And then for the Spectral Shield patrons, we have Hasiel Diaz, Rachel, and Sarazar. Thank you all for your support, and looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Peace.